is Chad from BioBreakVNC here, and I am here with Black Prophecy. So tell us all about your great upcoming MMO.
Okay, well, Black Prophecy is a Twitch-based space action MMO. So it's mostly player skill-based. It's a first-person shooter in space. It is, of course, a massively multiplayer game. So the first couple hours of the game is entirely, for the most part, almost like its own single-player game in itself. You go through an entire prologue that's almost reminiscent of many of the old space fighters that any fans of the genre will love. After that, you get to choose which faction you're going with. There's two factions in the game. And from there, it opens up into a very PvP, faction versus faction-centric game. Players can create their own clans. They can buy sections of space, have their own clan stations. From there, they can fight over resources. You can also continue the story missions. You know, it just opens up into a full, regular gambit of the MMO offerings. And there are many locations in the game. As you go through, and advance the story, you'll have more areas unlocked. There are many open world sectors of the game, so many missions will take you through these contested areas where you have to fight both enemy AI, even enemy battleships in certain areas, as well as players from the other faction trying to kind of get in on the same action. There are also instanced areas, so say you're going through, say you're just, you're playing alone, you don't have any friends on at the time, you can just go into any base, take just standard missions that will go into an instance area if you don't want to be bothered by other players. That's always an option. We have quick play options, so if you just want to meet some players, join a team automatically, we have these. We try to drive the players into an easily social environment.
Awesome. So what elements of the game are going to be great for casual players versus hardcore players?
Okay, well, I mean, the game can appeal to both. Obviously, the first people who are always seem very interested in Black Prophecy are the old school kind of space fighter guys, or even people who are just hungry for that kind of dogfighting experience that is a lot more rare these days. So, for the hardcore players, the cool parts is that there is just the skill-based elements alone, as far as having to understand the game, understand just your trajectory, understand the fine balance between when you're equipping your ship, between power of what you're equipping and the mass that it adds to your ship. So a heavy ship obviously can't move as fast, can't turn as fast. That becomes crucial in dogfighting to getting the enemy out from behind you and them in front of you, so you're chasing them down. So that alone can lend towards a hardcore gamer. But also the learning curve is that, so anyone who's looking to get into that can slowly build their skills. They don't have to jump right into PvP. They can go through there's just a whole epic story arc that they can just enjoy on their own, enjoy a PvE kind of environment where it's a little bit scaled down. As far as time investment is concerned, that's one thing that Black Prophecy is very concerned about, appealing to players who might not have the same amount of time they used to play games. So I know myself and many other kind of older gamers, you don't have those like 4 or 5 hour blocks as often. So with Black Prophecy, it's very easy to jump in, either join with clanmates. If your clanmates aren't on, there's the quick play options. Jump into a couple of very quick skirmishes, almost just a full-on like clan arena type vibe. We do Black Prophecy is a free-to-play game. And the way its business model works is in microtransactions. So the microtransactions, that's the element where, say, like a more older, more mature gamer doesn't have the same time, can just save that time. So there's like experience boosters in the shop. There's also things to speed up crafting processes. Mostly it's just elements to not have to spend as much time in-game kind of grinding along, doing missions, so you can keep up with the rest of the crowd.
And tell us a little bit about the crafting.
Okay, so the crafting of Black Prophecy, there's many options as far as outfitting your ship. As you level up through the game, you can choose certain skills and certain ship parts that you specialize in. So you can add points to different energy types, different weapon types, such as energy, mechanical, explosives. We're adding a 4th type in at the end of this month, I believe. And so you can choose what type of weapons you want to go with first, and also other ship parts as far as you can get expertise in engines. So you want to be a fast fighter, or you can get points in the shields where you're slower and bulkier and a lot heavier, but you can take a lot more damage. So as far as crafting is concerned, you find blueprints on enemies. You can also buy some blueprints in-game, but the best ones are always the ones that are found just from going around doing missions. And you craft in the game, you craft at space stations. You can use, that's where the cash up items come in. You can use some items to just help move that along. And with the better crafted items, they have things called mod slots. So a really good crafted item will have, say, maybe up to 8 mod slots. And those mod slots you can from there find other like mod diagrams to install into these mod slots and increase the capabilities of each of your weapons or engines or hull or whatever you're investing in.
So tell us, what is your favorite part about playing this game?
I mean, for me personally, I'm an old space action guy, but the most exciting part for me is Black Prophecy. It's a quality title. I mean, it's just like, it's a big game. It's a beautiful looking game. There are just so many elements to it. It's impressive off the bat, from the prologue alone, and then once you get into the gameplay itself of the PvP faction versus faction. But the part of it that I really enjoy, it's a free-to-play business model game, and I know here in the States, like free-to-play amongst like hardcore gamers, it's more of like, I haven't seen so many good ones, I don't believe in these kind of games. But Black Prophecy is such quality that it makes you rethink it, and just being a part of a game where it's kind of treading new ground, trying new things, and the way the community feedback works between the players and the developer. There's so many elements that the players are like, we like this, we don't like this, and all that feedback, is all processed. A lot of it makes it in-game. So it's just like, it's a very good relationship with community, with development. It's just a game that breaks a lot of ground, especially in the free-to-play area where it's just, you're not used to seeing games of this caliber.
Well, with that, do you want to show us a little bit of the game?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. So right now we're just in a safe zone. This is just a hub section where you have a space station that you can dock in. We have walking in stations planned as an expansion for next year, because we have a very, very in-depth character creator where you can make all types of awesome looking guys. And so it's almost going to be like its own almost a second game off of Black Prophecy. But as of right now, the space station's just dock in. It's kind of a static background. You can take missions, you can buy from the dealer, all that. But let's get into some actual action. So right here you see some of the areas in game. As you level up, you get access to more areas. I'm going to take us into a contested zone where we'll see some enemy AI as well as possibly some of the closed beta testers. And by the time anyone's watching this, we will be in open beta as we go into open beta tomorrow for the US.
Awesome.
So when you jump into an area, you jump in kind of on the outskirts. So you have to travel in a little bit to see some action. You can switch views however you'd like. You get in-cockpit view, or full first person. We also feature joystick support, gamepad support. But for now, to keep it pretty, I'll just keep it like this. And now you can have different weapons loadouts in this game. So right now, for this demo, it's just set to 4 of the same weapon. And these are all pretty decent, moderate to long-range weapon types. But you can assign your left mouse and right mouse to different weapons that you install. So like a big tactic will often be to install like 2 long-range weapons to mouse click left, and so you're kind of wearing down your opponent as you're closing in. And then have short-range weapons once you get close, because those are very powerful, but they overheat very quickly. So here we go, trying to take this guy down. There we go. Oh man, he healed. So this is the actual player I'm playing against right now, because usually the enemy AI won't heal itself, but this guy obviously is not that. Okay. So once you're in the dock, obviously this is pre-walking in stations, anything. There's multiple options on your right-hand side. There's a mission terminal, there's your hangar, your dealer, your constructor, that's where all the crafting happens. And so right now we're just in the constructor, in the hangar itself, where you can swap out ship parts and kind of see what you can install, the features on each. So even things like this cockpit here, it has 3 little squares on it, so those are each mod slots. The more mod slots, the better. And switching out weapons is as easy as going to a docking station, popping in whatever weapon. So your character skill in each area, obviously this is an energy-based build, so I'm swapping in energy weapons. And each energy weapon has its own feature, obviously. Some are short range, some are long range. It all depends on your preference, how you want to play it. No matter what build you choose, you always have multiple options to choose from. Energy weapons are better for penetrating shields. Mechanical weapons are better for penetrating hull. And so a lot of times in the PvP elements, and working with the team and working with the clan, it's important to take those factors into note. So you might have a guy up front kind of wearing a guy's shield down, while then your follow-up guys have mechanical or explosive weapons. And back there. Okay. This is where missile launchers would go. That adds extra weight to your ship, though. This is where a shield would go. Again, that adds extra mass to your ship. So for these builds, I'm trying to keep them very light so players feel very mobile. As for the crafting, this is where a lot of the construction happens. So for a mod right here, I would drop in the piece that needs to be modded, and if I had an additional blueprint to modify that, I'd drop it in there. There's optional things you could buy in the cash shop to improve your chances of a special item. And that goes the same for every single weapon, every single piece. Every piece can be modded with whatever mods you find, so you can really kind of tweak your build even more in certain directions. Always the dealer here. And one of the great things too about the game is we have quick play options, where you can just hit quick play. So you're jumping on, real quick, you just want to get into a team. Say you want to do some PvE missions, hit PvE. It will queue you up with any one of your level range into some automatic missions. Or if you want to do some PvP missions, hit that within depending on how many people on. Right now we're in closed beta, so if I hit it now, you might see a minute or two wait. But when there's more population in the game, you'll be pretty instant. And there we go, we just undock me back in wonderful space line.
Great. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to show us about Black Prophecy. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the fans?
Just feel free to visit us. It's blackprophecy.amigo.com, and you can feel free to check out the forums. We're a very active community. Many of the players are very vocal, so everyone really is listened to. Everyone has a chance to share their thoughts, and everything is read by both the publishing team, development team. And so there's always great back and forth going on, so we just urge everyone to just come, speak up, and let us know what you think. But thank you very much for your interview.